Have you ever wondered, why does it feel like everyone around me is just richer? Your friends, people on social media, even coworkers seems to be living it up. New cars, vacations, expensive clothes, and here you are, checking your bank balance and stressing over the next bill. What's going on? Is there a secret formula to their success? Or are you just missing out on something crucial? Well, today, I'm breaking it down. There are 5 key reasons why it feels like everyone has more money than you, and the good news, you can start to fix this today. I've been there, learned through my own wins and losses, and trust me, by the end of this video, you will have a whole new perspective on why you feel stuck and how to change that. Let's start with social media, because that's the first place where most people fall into the trap of thinking everyone is living a much wealthier life. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, everyone's posting the highlights of their lives. You'll see vacations to Bali, brand new Teslas, luxury watches. But here's the real kicker. These platforms are designed to only show you the wins. People don't post their financial struggles. They don't show the credit card bills that come after those expensive vacations, or the fact that their car is leased. Social media warps reality, making it look like everyone else is miles ahead of you. I've been there too. I'd scroll through my feed and wonder, how are they getting these brand deals, living in these expensive apartments, and I'm still grinding. But it wasn't until I started networking with some of these people that I realized it's mostly smoke and mirrors. Some of these influencers had tens of thousands in debt while trying to keep up appearances. Even some celebrities have admitted to living paycheck to paycheck despite making millions. You think these people are successful, but success isn't defined by what you see online. Success is defined by how you manage what you have behind the scenes. Comment below, what's one thing you've seen on social media that made you question your own financial progress? Let's be real, what we see is not the full story. Now let's talk about something that affects millions of people worldwide. Living paycheck to paycheck is the second major reason why it feels like everyone else is doing better financially, even when they are not. According to the recent statistics, over 60% of people in America and Europe live paycheck to paycheck. That means most people spend everything they earn each month. Let's break this down. Most people have fixed expenses: rent, utilities, car payments, groceries. And what's left? Well, if they are not careful, it's gone on entertainment, eating out, or impulse purchases. When I first started working, I remember making about $1,500 a month. It didn't seem like much, but I made a point to save $200 from every paycheck. A small amount, right? But I invested it. That little bit, consistently invested, is what gave me the freedom to build a portfolio over time. You don't need a lot of money to start, but you need discipline. The key is to automate your savings. Set up an automatic transfer of 1 or 200 or whatever you can afford from your checking account to a separate investment account each month. This way, you are paying yourself first. Over time, that small amount compounds and starts working for you. If you invest just 200 a month into a diversified index fund or ETF with an average return of 7% annually, you could potentially grow that into 48,000 in 10 years. But what if you up that to 400 a month? Now you are looking at closer to 96,000. The earlier you start, the better your long-term results. Hit that like button if you are going to start automating your savings this month. It's one of the simplest yet most effective ways to build wealth over time. Debt is a silent killer when it comes to wealth building. It's the first reason why it feels like everyone around you is doing better. They might look rich, but they are buried under a mountain of debt. It's the invisible wave that no one talks about. Let's talk about the numbers. In the US, the average household carries over $6,000 in credit card debt. Add student loans, mortgages, and car loans, and some people are juggling debt upwards of $50,000 to $100,000. In Europe, it's not much different. So when you see someone driving that new car, know that there's a good chance they are making hefty monthly payments just to keep it. I had a friend who looked like he was absolutely killing it. Fancy car, new apartment in the city, expensive clothes, you name it. But then, one day, he confided in me he was over 25,000 in credit card debt. He was making minimum payments just to survive and was stuck in a cycle. I helped him restructure his finances, but the truth is, many people are in this situation. Now, don't get me wrong, not all debt is bad. If you are taking on a mortgage for a home that will appreciate in value, or using a loan to invest in something that will bring a return, that's considered good debt. But if you are financing vacations, designer clothes, or nights out, that's a bad debt. It's a liability, not an asset. Understand this distinction, and you will start to see that many people who appear wealthy are just chasing the appearance of success, not actual wealth. Are you currently carrying any debt? Comment below anonymously if you prefer, and let's start a conversation on how to tackle it. I'll be reading the comments and offering advice. Now for the fourth reason, and this one is a bit tougher to swallow. Unfair advantages. We don't all start from the same place. Some people are born into wealth, some people inherit money, and others simply get a head start that you didn't have. Maybe you know someone whose parents bought them their first car, paid for their education, or helped them with a down payment on their home. These kinds of advantages can make it feel like you are behind, and no matter how hard you work, you're always playing catch up. It's estimated that 60% of wealth in America is inherited. In Europe, many wealthy families have been passing down wealth for generations. So when you see someone who seems financially ahead of you, remember that they might have had a head start that you didn't, but that doesn't mean you can't catch up. I didn't inherit wealth, but I had an unfair advantage in another way. My parents were financially literate. They taught me how to invest in stocks, how to manage money, and how to avoid debt traps. And that knowledge is just as valuable, if not more, than an inheritance. The advantage you can give yourself is knowledge. You can start learning today about investing, saving, and building wealth. With the right education, you can close the gap no matter where you started. So have you ever felt like others had an unfair advantage? Let me know in the comments, and let's talk about how we can level the playing field with financial education. Lastly, let's talk about the upward comparison trap. This is when you constantly compare yourself to people who seem more successful than you, whether they are your friends, coworkers, or people you follow online. We've all done it. You get a raise and feel good for about 5 minutes. But then you hear someone else got an even bigger raise, or you finally save up for a vacation only to see a friend going on a trip to some luxury resort. This trap can destroy your motivation and leave you feeling defeated. Psychologically, upward comparisons are dangerous. They can lead to feelings of stress. Studies show that constantly comparing yourself to others on social media can actually lower your self-esteem. So what's the solution? Focus on your own journey. Everyone's financial path is different. Instead of comparing yourself to others, track your own progress. Maybe last year you had 1,000 in savings, and this year you've built that up to 5,000. Celebrate that win. Keep a financial tracker or journal. Document your wins, no matter how small. By focusing on your own progress, you will be more motivated to keep going. I want you to do something right now. In the comments, share one financial win you've had this year, no matter how small. Let's create a community that celebrates progress. So there you have it. The 5 hidden reasons why it feels like everyone has more money than you. From social media illusions to the paycheck to paycheck cycle, hidden debt, unfair advantages, and the comparison trap. The important thing to remember is that you have control over your financial future, no matter where you're starting from. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more weekly tips to level up your financial life.